As we've reported, Ukraine's president implemented martial law, all while asking citizens to remain calm. Despite the president's words, many Ukrainians are fleeing for safety. Traffic was at a standstill in Kyiv as long lines of cars filled and clogged the streets. Now, to talk more about what's happening in Ukraine, I'd like to bring in Deputy Head of Ukraine's Parliamentary Majority, Halyna Yanchenko. She's joining us right now. First, thank you for joining us in such a difficult time right now. How are people reacting in Ukraine? What are you seeing?
Hello, everyone. People are horrified on one hand, but on another hand, they are ready to protect their land because we are here standing on our land. It's our country, it's sovereign country, and none of other countries, no bloody Putin or Hitler or however you call him, will tell us what we should do and tell us that part of our land is not our land. Our people are not our people. But overall, the situation is very difficult. You can't imagine. Today, I woke up at 5 a.m. because of explosion. I heard explosion. And it was actually attempt to bomb Kyiv. Currently, tonight, another bombing of the capital city of Ukraine might happen. And we recommend people to go underground to subway or to their underground. And believe me, it's horrifying. I'm telling you it, not as just regular citizen, but as member of parliament and mother of 2 children. Today, Putin and Russian troops, and we're not talking about, some separatists. It's Russian troops with Russian flag on their uniform. They were bombing cities all over Ukraine, not only eastern part, but also west, Kyiv, capital city, Odessa, some other big cities. We have lost about a couple dozen people, including children. Children were murdered today because the world was not serious about Putin. The world was not serious about sanctions on time. And now it's like every minute, every hour is important. So what the world can do now and what US should do now, 2 things. Please start with SWIFT. If you block Russia from SWIFT, it will really help because then Russian citizens will come out to their streets and ask Putin what is he doing, not only with Ukraine, but with their own country. He's killing and he's ruining lives, not only Ukrainians. He's murdering Ukrainians, literally, but he's also ruining life of his country and his citizens should tell him. So I beg American politicians to block Russia from SWIFT now. Please save Ukrainian men, women, and children.
Halyna, I can hear it in your voice. I mean, this is
citizens. Block Russia from SWIFT. I beg you, please save our people. Another dozen of people and maybe hundreds of people might be murdered tonight.
President Zelensky has asked people to remain calm, but it's difficult. President Zelensky has asked people to remain calm. Are people staying in their homes in Ukraine to avoid this? What are you doing to protect your children?
I'm staying home because I need to go to work anytime. Today, I spent most of my time in the government neighborhood. We had the parliamentary meeting to adopt martial law, so our army and president can make decisions. But overall, thousands, and I would say 100,000 people are leaving their homes, especially in eastern part of Ukraine and southern part of Ukraine. They are leaving to western regions, or they're trying to go abroad. They're leaving their homes with all their stuff and things. So I ask you to be courageous, and to make right decisions on time. In my opinion, the world was already taken too much time to think over what to do with Putin. But Putin is not thinking. He knows what he wants. He wants to invade our country and kill our people. And I beg you not to let it happen. So I ask you about two things. First, block Russia from SWIFT, and second, send Ukraine the forces how we can block the arms that they are sending through air, because they have the rockets in Russia, in Belarus, and they can bomb Ukrainian cities from other countries like Belarus and Russia, not even invading, but they are ruining homes, they're killing people, they're murdering people, not only our soldiers, but innocent people. And today, as I already said, about 6 dozen people were murdered, including children. This is horrible.
Halyna, please stay safe. Please take care of your children and your family. Thank you for talking to us and giving us a little bit of a glimpse of what's happening right now. Thank you for your time.